I'm Josh Yourish with FanSided, and I'm excited to get to chat with Ohio State sophomore running back James Peoples, who has partnered with Popeyes to bring better wings straight to campus. So let's go all the way back. You were born in Germany, and then you moved to play your high school football in San Antonio, but you've always been an Ohio State fan. Now you're with the Buckeyes. Just tell me a little bit about that journey.
It was it's crazy looking back. So my mom and dad are from Cleveland and Youngstown, Ohio, and my dad got into the Air Force. So from there, they moved over to Germany. I was born in Landstuhl, Germany. Stayed on Ramstein Air Force Base for 3 years, and then we moved to San Antonio, military city, where I was raised. I kind of played a Germany, Texas kind of game a little bit. So I kind of take both. That's where I was born or stayed at. And then, of course, went to school on base up till middle school, and then high school I went to Veterans Memorial. And interesting enough, I mean, I had a great career there at Veterans Memorial. And it was a very new school at the time I went. I was only there for like 5 or 6 years, and
Mm-hmm.
always been an Ohio State fan just because family's from Ohio. I mean, I got so much family here in so many parts of Ohio. I grew up watching them on Saturdays all the time, and that just never stopped. And so when I was blessed with the opportunity to become a Buckeye, had a few other options could have been swayed in, but I ultimately chose Ohio State, and it's the right choice for me, and I still believe that. So I'm gonna keep on going strong, man. Glad to be a Buckeye.
So you, as a recruit, you were kind of flying under the radar a little bit, or at least Ryan Day and Ohio State's radar. And then I read a little bit about you go to camp there as a junior, and they don't really even know your name, but you just stood out so much that they were like, "We want to offer you right now. We got to wait a little bit." What was that moment like? Like, going through that camp, could you realize they were starting to watch you a little closer? And what did that feel like that you were recognizing that you were catching their eye?
Yeah, so this was a last minute thing. I just got done camping at Texas, and
Mhm.
then I was talking with like some people, and I was like, okay, let's go to Ohio State. So at the time, Coach Alfred was the running back coach, and got in contact with him, and he was like, all right, come up for a camp. And I was with like some of the top guys in the country, and at that point in time, I was no stars, had maybe 7 offers, and I was kind of under the radar. But me, I took that as fuel to the fire, man. I like kind of being that guy that was unknown and stuff and having to go get it. So out there, Coach Alfred and TreVeyon was actually watching me that time. He was over there with the running backs, and
Mhm.
man, I was killing it at camp. I was going first in every drill. I actually went against Arvell. Me and Arvell to this day make a joke about our little one-on-one rep where I got him on a little wheel route. Uh, but it was a great camp, and I tore it up out there, and I had a good talk with Trey after that, and that's probably the first time me and Trey actually met. And then I had a good talk with Coach Alfred, and we're like, okay, we're going, I don't know you enough right now. He's like,
Mhm.
obviously the skill set's there, but I don't know you enough yet. So he followed me through my junior year. I think in like week 6 or 7, they dropped that offer on me, man, and it was one of the best days of my life. So.
So I don't want to lead you in any particular way with this, but it feels like you've kind of had a prove them wrong mindset throughout your career. Like, I think that kind of comes through even already through this interview. I read that, going to Dallas or Houston or those bigger Texas cities, you always wanted to show them, the San Antonio school, you could hang with them. Is that where your motivation comes from still to this day? Or is there some other thought that kind of gnaws at you to put in that extra work?
I think that's been my motto my whole life. Even since I was in Little League, guys been counting me out because I was this, that, or I ain't come from this huge school or whatever the case is. But that has been a big motivator for me all my life, and especially when it comes to football. So, yeah, it definitely is. Still is.
So how does that translate now that you're, one of the main running backs on the number one team in the country? There aren't so many people to keep proving wrong. How do you kind of meld that mindset into your current kind of situation?
Well, I mean, my current situation, it kind of gets to a point of how much better can I get? You know what I'm saying? And it's
Hmm.
always you can always get better at anything and everything. And then you got guys that you hear good stuff about, and then some people say what it is, but ultimately not caring too much about what people think. But at the same time, I'm working to leave no doubt. You know what I'm saying? And I know my end goal for me and what I'm like seeking to complete here at my time and my tenure here at Ohio State. So I got goals that I want to meet, and I don't think I'm anywhere close to them right now. So that's also a big motivator for me right now is to keep on getting better. You know, keep on getting this team better because the team
Mhm.
we got goals as a team, and to be a team, you know, we all got to think as one, be as one. So being a leader, you know, and everything I can do. So
You
yes.
mentioned his name, TreVeyon Henderson, also Quinshon Judkins last year. What did you learn from that duo? Because there might not have been a better duo in the country last year. So, like, I'm sure you were like a sponge trying to absorb everything you could. What were the lessons you took from those guys?
I was, and you know, I still talk to them to this day because I'm still
Mhm.
learning so much more. Like we talked then, but they're also like now that I'm in the position I'm in right now, they're still pouring into me about how to continue to go through that and just deal with stuff. So I learned so much about having to share the room with multiple great backs, you know, and to produce and all type of things. So when it comes to Trey, I mean, and Q, they were such great role models. I mean, you're right. I mean, they did great things in college and they're doing great things now in the NFL. So I was just a sponge soaking up information, and especially from our great coach, running back coach, Coach Locklyn. He has so much knowledge to spill. He's coached so many great backs through the years, from here, Oregon, Western Kentucky to Memphis. I mean, he
Mhm.
had a plethora of backs. So much knowledge to soak in and experience from everyone in the room.
What's that adjustment like going to more of a crowded backfield? I'm sure in high school you were the guy, like you're going to be that workhorse, but now moving into this level and trying to find your rhythm or whatever it is, like how's that adjustment been?
Yeah, finding your rhythm. I'd say it's definitely different. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But um, going into it with Coach Lockhart, I already knew that's how he's been. He's always played a good amount of backs, and that's good for longevity in the league. So that's one thing that's really key for that. But
Yeah.
utilizing your skill set in the best way possible and making the most out of your opportunities and being on top of everything that you can. You know what I'm saying? So it also was good. You know, we push each other, we work together, but at the end of the day, we're all one. We're brothers in that room, and being one is the biggest thing. And working to be the best running back room in the country. So that's what it is.
You mentioned longevity a couple times, not just like in terms of the NFL, but also you
Yes.
might have to play 16, maybe even 17 games now in a college season.
Yeah.
How is Coach Day and even last year playing 16 games? How have they prepared you to get through that grind, to navigate that both physically and mentally?
You navigate that, but they challenge me in practice a lot, not just physically with the workload and how hard practice has been, but they also challenge the mind too in different situations and just kind of seeing like where guys are and are you gonna be able to handle this, handle that. Our coaches, I mean, we got the best coaches in the country, and they put you in adverse situations to make sure that you're ready for when that moment comes. So that's what they've been doing. They continue to do that. So all the guys are ready though. We're ready for it.
Speaking of some of those other guys, getting to somebody who came in with your class, Jeremiah Smith, like maybe the 5 star of all 5 stars, right? You were maybe an under the radar recruit
Yeah.
for a little bit. He was never under the radar.
Yeah.
What was your first moment with him where you were like, all right, yeah, he's the real deal?
Ah man, it had to been spring. I don't know if this was a team period or 707, but man, he was just head topping everybody in the spring practice. I was like, oh my goodness, this guy, like you throw it up to him, he gonna get it regardless. And I think that's the moment where everyone was kind of like, dang, like this guy, he got some to him. So that was probably one key point when we first got here in the spring. But he's been consistent. He's doing the same thing now, and that's just who he is. So proud of him. Proud of him.
And then Julian Sayin, who,
Yeah.
started at Alabama but quickly came to Ohio State. What have you seen from him in this first year as a starter? And then maybe more specifically, like he's one of the younger guys with you just figuring everything out on campus. And then pretty quickly he's the starting quarterback of the number one team in the country. Like, does your relationship with him kind of change there as that process happens? Because now he's the big man on campus.
No, I don't think our relationship anything really changed. Me and Julian, that's my dog, man. We be close since we first got here, freshman year, and I say he's been handling it really well. He's been balling out lately right now, getting the hang of things and everything like that. But he's handled the pressure really well. And I don't think it changed him at all. I think he's been the same guy. Julian's just being Julian. And I think that's the biggest thing. You can't let that change who you are. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to let that change who you are. He's been doing a great job with that, handling that, and he's gonna continue to.
And then, moving it to this season and the start of the season, you're the champs last year. Like you're the national champions, everything. And then you come into 2025 and all of a sudden you're hosting the preseason number one team in the country in Texas. When does that mindset shift for you guys that were around from last year who were the champs to, okay, now we got to go do it again? Like how does that process work in the offseason?
No, that switched pretty fast. I mean, it switched pretty fast. When we got back in and went to workouts, I think the goal, like on day one, was all right, that was last season. Like
Mm-hmm.
now we gotta start from scratch, build this thing up, and try to do it again. With a different team, different people, different players, different skill sets, all that. So that changed pretty fast, and we've just been on top of all of our stuff, working towards that goal. But with the what happened last year, we're over that. We've been over that. You know what I mean? You see where we're at right now. We trying to go in another one. So
And then to a different competition, but you still want to be the champion. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing with Popeyes and the promo codes.
yes, so I got a partnership with Popeyes. A great partnership. I love Popeyes myself. I loved it since I was a kid. So
Mm-hmm.
I got promo code Peoples12. You can get that online, not in stores. And I'm in competition with a few other guys. We got a little roster, like a little football roster built up. But whoever uses the code most, it's gonna be a cool little tailgate at the end of the year. And I know Buckeye Nation, we got a great following, great support. So if y'all can, man, go use that code. Let's get that tailgate at the end of the year. And yeah, man. So it's a great partnership. I've had so much fun with it. Continuing to have fun with it. I mean, that's the reason why we're here today. And
Yeah.
I mean, so one of my favorite spots to eat is since I was a kid. So
Plenty of fun today. Have some more fun the rest of the season. I'm sure you will. James Peoples, thanks for joining me.
absolutely, thank you.